what are we going to do once we've identified the risks? How do we deal with this? And there are basically four fundamental ways of dealing with risk, and we call it risk mitigation. So the first one is to accept risk. You just don't do anything. Like I produce chocolate. I know the trend goes against me, but then I just continue producing chocolate. I don't change my product. I don't change the product specification or the ingredients or the market. So I just stick to it. I accept the risk. The second point is avoid. You can avoid risk by just discontinuing. You stop producing chocolate and you enter a completely different market. So you avoid it. That could be another one. You can also transfer the risk. A typical example of risk transfer is taking up insurance. So you can take up insurance policy that covers you. So if your sales figure decline in the next 5 years, your insurance company could basically reimburse you for this loss of revenues. And the fourth example is risk reduction. And I would say the most common one is the risk reduction, where you actually do something about it. You don't change your processes drastically, but you do take consideration and you try to change a little bit the way you work. So I could, in addition to producing my chocolate, I could also offer some fitness snack just to complement my product portfolio. So if this trend continues, I could actually basically count on my fitness snacks to go up. So my sales figures would go up, whereas my actual chocolate revenues will probably decline. And so if this trend proves true and valid, then I'm positioned to kind of protect myself against this trend coming up in the next few years or months. So I reduce my risk. I do something about the way I work, or the goods I produce. So I want to also give you some, in addition to these examples, also give you some practical examples. So if you're a sports equipment manufacturer and you export to Russia, now you have a Russian invasion of Ukraine. So what do? You can actually decide to retreat from the Russian market. So if you retreat from the Russian market, you completely avoid the geopolitical risk in this market, in this country. So this is an example of avoidance. So you avoid the risk. A second example is you manufacture again and some goods, and you rely on a single overseas supplier for a critical component. So there are, as we've seen in COVID crisis, you have supply chain disruptions, you have shortages because of some, war or geopolitical instability in the Middle East or, in some parts of the world. So the company actually decides to do something about it and decides to diversify its supplier base. So it doesn't only rely on one single overseas supplier, but it tries to find 2, 3, 4 additional suppliers for the same product. So it can spread its supplier base, diversify its supplier base. So this is an example of risk reduction or risk mitigation. So you try to reduce your risk. Just 2 more examples. A company decides not to invest in advanced cybersecurity measures because it simply thinks it's not worthwhile the effort and the money to spend, and the likelihood of having a real cyber attack is very low. So in this case, the company decides to do nothing, basically, not to invest in or change the way it does business. In this case, this is actually an example of risk acceptance. And there is a fourth example. It's about a construction company that undertakes a major infrastructure project, which takes many months and spans over the next, let's say, 3 years. Now, there is material price fluctuations, which the company is faced with, and it now decides to negotiate a fixed price from its suppliers to basically eliminate the risk of price fluctuations. And so it shifts actually this risk to its suppliers, which is a very smart move. So when you run a business, always try to shift your basically risk to your suppliers or customers or whoever, to an outside external party. So this is actually an example of risk transfer.
Did you like the video? Why not take it further and earn CPEs for free? Getting started is easy. Just click the link to the free on-demand course below. You'll be taken straight to the page where you can enroll. Once enrolled, watch the video, review the presentation slides, answer a set of questions, and your CPE certificate will land directly in your inbox. But wait, there's more. Prefer live learning? We host weekly live webinars packed with insights from seasoned professionals covering hot topics in governance, internal controls, risk management, audit, and compliance. It's your chance to engage in real-time discussions, ask questions, and sharpen your skills in key areas. Want to stay in the loop? Subscribe to our weekly newsletter using the link below to get updates on upcoming webinars straight to your inbox. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all our new videos and offerings.